SugarCity Morning Show.
Sugar, 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 honey, honey. Good morning, folks. It's the Sugar City Morning Show for today, Wednesday. And today is the 24th day of June 2020. Here's wishing you all a very pleasant one, a great morning, wherever you may be out there. If you are doing the right thing, keep on doing the right thing. If you believe you're thinking that you're doing the right thing and you're not doing the right thing, well, let's shift our gears and our focus to the right thing. But good morning. My name is Robert Checker Usher, and we welcome you to the Sugar City Morning Show right here on North Television Channel 10. We're coming to you from Orange Walk, folks, so everyone across the country, Mr. Mancinero there in Belmopan, and also Mr. Ordonis there in Penque Viejo del Carmen. Muy buenos dias for the Cocom family there in San Jose Socots. For our friends there in PG, good morning, Miss Virginia. All the way in Paine, Punta Gorda. How things? Remember, we got in your house and we sit down right there and watch the show. We are wishing you a pleasant day today, everybody. All our culture brothers there in Griga. Good morning, guys. Brother David, Poots, the rest of the guys, Mohobob, Chagu. If you're around, we shout you up today, Chico Ramos. Sorry, all the traditional guys. We say good morning to our folks there in Placencia, Mr. Fred Cabral, there in Placencia. You see Orange Walk, right? You see we bring Orange Walk way to Placencia for you. Our friends there in Mango Creek, Marva and the crew. Good morning to you all, everybody across the country. Hopkins, good morning to Hopkins. Good morning to Papi and Babi. See and Bite, good morning. Yeah, those are the great drummers, right, that used to be around with Andy Palacio. We say good morning to you all, Capital City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Good morning to Mayor Ertrop there and the rest of the crew. Everyone, all citizens, residents waking up bright and early. You know, Elaine, Venice, the rest of the crew. Also to Penny and your husband. We say good morning to all of you, to Mr. Sheriff there as well. Everybody there in Cayo. Nice place, you know. Lourdes, how is things? How is Rog doing? Hoping Rog is doing fine. Great today. People all over the country. There in Kikaka, good morning to Shari. And family, yeah, extended family. Hope the little one is okay. Also, San Pedro La Isla Bonita. Calad, how things stand? Everything good, everything fine. Our friends here in Orange Walk, Belize City as well. Cass, bye. Good morning, Cass. It has been a pleasure. I think I have to link you for the 4th of July, you know, Cass, because I could see your relief when you were here, you know, to celebrate with us. And we are certainly wishing you the best. Hope all is well and fine. To Sanka and the rest of the crew. Corozal, good morning, Corozal. When you talk about Corozal, you know, it's the Gil Harry 7 when you think about entertainment, you know, Corozal. They big up Corozal and big up the entire country of Belize when they go around sharing their culture and their great music. And right here in Orange Walk, you know, it's the Sugar City Morning Show. So good morning to one and all, folks. We will be having Minister Aragon on the show today. We know the state of emergency comes to an end on the 30th. We will see if he has anything on the take on that. We would like to ask him about some other issues that is going around. You know, this leadership convention coming up, the election coming up, and so many other things. But folks, let's give thanks and praise this morning. And for that, we say good morning to Delvi.
Good morning, buenos dias, Pretty Binafi.
Same. All right, sister, sister. A great day, you know. Tomorrow, Gaduro, Richard Mark, Fedu, you know. Richard birthday tomorrow, so Richard, I got jamming tomorrow, Mr. Richard Mark. You know Richard, don't you?
I think so, you know.
I'm a boy what they call Largo, man. Largo.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
My nickname, yes.
Yeah, he a Fedu Gaduro, girl. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the man. Yeah, so for all that, you know, make we give thanks.
All right, above all things, yes.
Yeah.
And before I share the prayer, I just like to share one verse.
Okay, sure.
And that's from 2 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 18, and it says, "But we all with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord." Almighty and Heavenly Father, thank you, O God, for this day. Thank you for blessing us once more to be in the land of the living. Thank you for blessing us with another opportunity, O Lord, to be able to rise and shine in this day. Oh God, and as we start this day, I just pray, oh Lord, for your continuous blessings, oh Lord, your continuous direction, oh Lord, your continuous transformation, oh God, as you are a God of movement, you are a God who are alive. Lord, and I pray that you let your Holy Spirit come down upon each of us to guide us, oh Lord, for we need you now more than ever. As this show commences, oh Lord, I just pray, oh God, that you continue to have your way in and through the members who make it happen, every listener, oh Lord, and may you be glorified in all that you allow us to say and to do. I give you thanks for all that you continuously do for us, oh Lord. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, we give thanks and thanks for that as well.
Amen. Well, to God be the glory.
Yes, gal. That's all we could go by. Like, you see so much trial and tribulations going on right now. It's like we're hanging on a string right now.
Mm-hmm. A lot of strange things happening, Mr. Checky, now.
Yep.
But now more than ever, we need to keep the faith. If not,
yeah, we need
lose a mind or lose something.
Yeah, and not try divert from your journey with obstacles coming your way, because if you study the obstacles, then you will not have the strength to fight them.
To keep moving.
Yeah, to keep moving. So when then they come, you know, sit in there, then they just pass. Unless if a snake they come, you have to make sure you see that snake and get out of the way. But the snake that is serpent, that they was snake, that part of the devil's side too, no?
Right, the serpent.
The serpent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they come in all form of fashion, Sometimes they know are complaining like a snake. Sometimes are the people closest to us, So this is why it's very important that we try to develop a prayer life. And a lot of the times people think about praying. Oh, I have to sit down for 5 hours. Once you pray with a sincere heart, Mr. Checky, you feel like I need to set one time limit. Just it's like conversing with God.
Yes.
And the more we pray to Him, the closer we get to Him.
I remember when we used to go to Bible school at right there at the Orange Walk Bible Chapel. They used to have Sunday schools. I don't know if they still have Sunday schools for the kids, no?
We still have it
for
the kids, and they have for adults as well.
Yeah, and we used to go to the Orange Walk Mennonite Church as well. That's the one, I think it's on the Guadalupe Street area. Some part of that area, Asunción Street. But I remember they used to tell us the story about Adam and Eve. Mm-hmm. You have recollection of that story?
Yes.
Can you share?
The very first. Yes, those are the first two people who God created, and He placed them in the Garden of Eden and provided everything for them. They had food, they had shelter, water, everything. And God told them, you know what? He made Adam first, and then from Adam He made Eve. But after He completed them, He told them, you can eat from everything in this garden, except that tree at the center of the garden. That was the apple.
That was the apple tree?
Well, people say it's an apple, but the Bible does not give a specific name for a fruit.
Okay. All right.
But
good.
That may a tree.
All right. So some tree with some fruit.
Some tree with some fruit.
Okay. All right.
I not say we, but a lot of people call it apple, but the Bible did not specify.
Okay.
So, and again, the serpent and his tricks came crawling in, the devil, and he spoke to the woman and told her, you know what, eat from it, and you will be like God. You know the difference between good and evil. You will see different things. You will experience different things. And at first she didn't want, but eventually he convinced her, and she fell into the temptation. And after she got the bite of the fruit, she gave it to her husband, and he ate of it as well. And then they hid from God.
Yeah. So that's why you think that's why people afraid of a snake?
Well, probably. And I believe when we used to say whether a garden snake or whatever kind of snake, there is that fear to it because, after God sent them out of the garden, he placed a curse on the snake, on the woman. That is why, women feel pain in childbearing. On men, that's why, men have to work so hard. By the sweat of your brows we shall eat, because of the choices we make. And not to say that we are perfect, but I believe that those events that happen in the Bible are to teach us a lesson that, yes, we don't make the same mistake then. We not dodge all of the mistakes then, but, every day we get opportunity now for not get bite as much as everybody else in the Bible get bite.
Yes.
So that just, a learning lesson at a day-by-day process that, if we are open, if our minds, our hearts are open for God to teach us, he still does through his word.
So that should teach all of us a lesson, right? Because Adam and Eve, according to this story that came out from the Bible, they were disobedient, right?
They were disobedient. Otherwise, they would not have. God never may have sent out to the garden.
Yeah, and they paid the price for it, right?
They had to pay the price, and so do we when we are disobedient. When your picnic don't listen to you might give them a spanking, or your discipliner. The same thing with God.
But like some of us, what we should do and what we need to do, you struck a good point there. When we picnic, do something wrong, we might get a little whipping. But should we just whip them, or we should sit down and talk to them and tell them what they did is wrong and make them know how wrong it is? That's how you get this little whipping. You're not get a whipping because I want to hurt you, but you get a whipping because I need you to learn, man. I need you to understand what is not the right thing. You know if you do it, right?
We discipline, and now more than ever, Mr. Checks, we need it. And again, I will stress we are not perfect, because that's a lot of people. Oh, but nobody not perfect. No, we will die and never be perfect. But every day we learn, and at the end of the day, how best we try with our kids. That's it's a brighter future for them. And again, when they reach a certain age, they choose. But the Bible also says when you train a child in the way that he should go, he will not depart from it.
Yeah.
So even if they choose to go astray and do whatever they feel like, they have to come back because they know the truth. The truth is in them.
Yeah. Garate Bidi.
You have to go, but you have to come back.
Yep.
But if you just flag them and they bust them up and thing, and because you angry, then that child won't see, what? Oh, my man don't love me, or my pa don't love me because of that. But if you spank them, and you sit down and you discipline them, you explain to them, so and so is not right, so and so. Even when they get old and they want to try doing their own thing, as kids sometimes do, they have to come back because it is in them.
Yeah. And then I also believe that we need to balance off when it comes with the kids there. So, because some parents got some picnic and there are maybe lash one or two, but then they have one and they will just sit down right there, so, and they just eat what you want and you do what you want, and that one, like everything you do, like they close their eyes to that one. So how can we become a strong, how can we have that strong family ties together when you are not seeing things going wrong with other kids in the house as well, in your community? You understand?
Right.
Because this thing with Adam,
we have to.
this thing with Adam and Eve, that both of them had to get out, right? It's not only one.
It's both of them. Because at the end of the day, while he did not speak face to face with the serpent, he still ate from the fruit which God told both of them not to eat.
Yeah.
So the accomplice is as guilty as the thief, like what I say.
Yeah, so you can't say, ma, that not me take it, that Chepe take it, but Chepe give me peace. But your ma say, no.
Eat it.
Yeah. But your ma say, no, never have to take it, right? Yeah.
Right, so.
There is so many things that us might not understand, and because of that, then sometimes we go wrong the wrong path without realizing,
I think.
And you know what happened to Delve? Like one time, your kids and get in a trouble, you always try to say, no man, the police they lied. The police the chance me picnic. But how when afterwards one time they catch you picnic, and then one time you go to the police station and say, hey, I just gonna check what's up with my kid. And when they show you how much charge he got, he broke in this place, he robbed that one, he thief there, and we got evidence. Then what position you figure that you put yourself in, because you never they pay attention. You pick they just say, okay, man, I know. Yes, all right. Then they come back, they know the work, but then they bring $20 to them, man. And you know they know the work when you look, they got a brand new bicycle, and they know the work.
Where did they get it from?
Yeah.
Right, so, these are things that we need to have an open mind,
That's right. Okay. Well, good discussion this morning as always.
I know. Very healthy discussion, yes.
Yeah. We need to get open mind, man.
Yes.
Because when I don't say people, I say some of us. So it's everybody. When I talk about that, it's everybody.
Right.
But believe me, they have some people in the household will make sure some of these same things that we are talking, that we say some of we go wrong, they got some people will make sure that they don't go wrong,
Right. And we look at them as, then they be strict parents, but
yeah,
the benefit is in the later on, because kids will be kids, Mr. Checky. If you left one picnic for watch TV, hold it that the way you want to.
Yes.
But if you bring on your foot and cut the tongue pan and say, all right, maybe 1 hour TV, you go on next portion of hour for do a little bit of studies.
Yes.
That child has to be in compliance. But if you leave that child, he want to do what he want, look at then a picnic.
Yeah.
We have to set them guidelines for them to, as best as possible to follow.
Yep, and when they start to go to high school, they don't want to do what the teacher and tell them. When they go to the sixth farm, they don't want to study what the instructor they tell them. When they go work, they don't want to study what the boss tell them. Right then they start to go wrong. But this conversation will continue, Delve, and we like to wish you the best. And thanks for your time every day. And if the good Lord so will, then we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, and we want to wish everyone the best, right?
So will. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks once again. All right. So, folks, Haruga, Fedu, Richard, Mark. Largo birthday tomorrow, folks. So, things gonna happen. Chepe don't want to know when the grill and light up, what all will happen. Well, we are find out today, Chepe. We're going to see the man. Chepe, and we are find out what's going on, right? But now we will be checking in with the Belize Met Service. Good morning, Uncle Kirk. Good morning to Charlene, Erin, the rest of the crew, Rona, Creole Mama. Good morning, Creole Mama. Also, Robert and the rest of the crew. Doc, what's up, Doc? Everything is all right. I think I'm going to hear one speech for you, man, Doc. But I know you're not into that. Good morning, Mark and wife and the little one. We want to say good morning to you all as well. Folks, as we check in with the Belize Met Service this morning, the general situation, windy and hasty conditions will prevail over the country with a decrease in moisture expected later today. The 24-hour forecast, skies will be hazy with some cloudless spells. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will occur mostly over central and inland areas this morning. Decreasing later today, then little or no rainfall is expected tonight. The winds are blowing east to southeast at 15 to 25 moderate, and the wave heights will be from 6 to 7 feet. So, Berto, if you made it today, you can go up on the water today with a leak cranky door, right? Not like that one I see the storm right there, so that the US right there different. Temperature in the coast is 88. Inland will be 93 today, but it don't feel hot already, but the breeze is not blowing. That's why they talk about the first part of the forecast here about the haziness. In the hills, it's 88. A small craft caution remains in effect for gusty winds and locally rough seas. Hazy conditions may reduce visibility. All right, you know that when I talk about this dust where they come in, we saw some pictures from Corozal yesterday and some pictures from Peine, Punta Gorda, PG, where it look very, very hazy. The outlook, it says dry, hazy, and windy conditions. Expected Thursday with isolated showers or thunderstorms over the south on Thursday night. Also, folks, a high tide this morning at 11:38, followed by a low at 7:07 tonight, another high tide at 1:27 tomorrow morning, and a low tomorrow morning as well at 6:24. The sun was up bright and early, leave it after me. The sun come out 5:20. I was up from 5. So sun I beat you to it today, and it will set today at 6:30 in the evening. And the moon, let's see, the moon will set today at 8:27 this morning and rise at, it says 9:55 tonight. That is your general weather forecast brought to you by the Belize Met Service and certainly by your North Television Channel 10 right here this morning. Folks, we'll be taking a break, and when we come back, we have the Honorable Elodio Aragon right here on the show to talk to us about development in the East and of other things national importance that we'll be discussing. So we'll be taking a break right here, and we'll be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
114.60 acres in Tiger Creek, Orange Walk, 3,000 acres, 0.961 hectares to Jaime Briceño and John Briceño, 827.848 square yards to John Briceño, 5.4 acres to John Briceño and Jaime Briceño, 20 acres in Progreso to John Briceño, again, 6 acres in Progreso. The all of Progreso you go with?
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, rush runs, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Castagna? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Chunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass, 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartinea and Copperbank. I'm part of Progresso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize. Moving Belize forward.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orinjoak and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillett's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, 27 minutes away from 8 o'clock, folks. We're live right here on North Television Channel 10. It's Wednesday, and we have Minister Aragon here with us this morning. Usually on Wednesday, we always have the Minister on stage, unless something comes up, and he always make one time in a week. But good morning, Minister.
Good morning, Chicky. It's always a pleasure, my brother. And
yes.
You know, you get up early and then you watch the sun.
Yeah.
Because you know we've been having a lot of rain, and even I think yesterday it rained somewhat.
Yeah.
Slightly. I don't know. I was in Belmopan, but it rained out there in the evening.
Okay.
So wherever you go, there's rain, and I know we have a lot of farmers out there who I guess they get enough rain right now for the time being. But it's always good to come out seeing the sun out there, and you know I just want to say good morning to all our TV viewers, and of course to all those who are tuning in via the radio, Choice Radio. I just want to say a pleasant good morning and a pleasure being here, Checky.
Yeah, I'd wait for my good friend David Villanueva.
Okay.
Because you know me, I hear from way back. I'll tell and Dav, I want to hear you sing 2 songs, man. Well, the man said, boy, if I sing a song, I might bust your speakers. But you know, it's a wonderful morning, Minister.
Yeah.
And everything is here. But they have one, you know what the thing what happened, I think it was last week with the rain. With the rain, where we had the flooding in the area on the bridge. Well, not the bridge, but a big culvert.
Yeah, St. Matthew's area.
Down, no?
Right.
You know, and I see that they have one adult, and they blame the Prime Minister, then they blame the government for everything what happened there, you know? And I know say how that is possible for anyone to take into consideration when, like we mentioned last week, all over the world, you see all big bridges, you see house and all, they float in the water.
That's right. But, you know, I think last week we really elaborated on that. And I reiterate in terms of saying that, you know, these things happen. And definitely that culvert, if anybody know about that piece there, and I think everybody will traverse Belmopan will tell you, that piece has been sitting there for quite some time. Among the force of nature in terms of when rain come together, the power of that, you can't stop that going through anything. And we cite what happened last week, and I will say that when I saw the leader of the opposition, and I bring it up again because he got up on TV, he was on the news talking about this thing, blaming the government, blaming whatsoever contractors, would-be contractors that he so-called did it. I don't know about any contractor who gone so deep in our work. I know they did the resurfacing and the road, and I'm not even sure who might have been responsible. But the fact is that these things happen, and for me you have the leader of the opposition, especially PUP, come out with that, then that just shows how narrow-minded they are, shows that they don't understand there are greater things for them to be worried about. He should have stayed on a National Oversight Committee, and that up to now, we have to repeat it because Belizeans must know that the leader of the opposition abandoned the people at its critical time. Right now, there's a lot of decision making that needs to be done. They need the input from people, and if he wants to be the next prime minister of this country, he needs to be able to be there to lend that advice, look at certain things. But he abandoned why? For political reasons, so he could lash out at the government. And if this is the kind of lashing he want to give government and put blame on roads because of the rain, etc., then I don't know. I just feel pity for the man, because I just want crying shame on his part that he going so low, check it, and the PUP. What can we expect from the PUP? You understand me?
Yeah.
Right now we have an election coming up, so I guess that's where they look for focus on. You know, there are a lot of serious decisions that has to be made at the National Oversight Committee. When will the airport open? You know, from what I get for understanding, it'll be August now, you know.
August?
Right? I'm not too sure. I mean, there's so many decisions has to be made. Right now, when will cruise ships come back? You know, that, of course, is dependent a lot on the cruise ship industry. They went and decide for come back. So there's a lot of things that are happening, a lot of things that are taking place that are critical to this nation and to the people of this country. And you got the leader of the opposition resign from such an important task, something where the people need, if the people need anybody, that this is at the time, and this is the place in the National Oversight Committee that it is needed.
And this was the time when the Prime Minister and the government put that interest in him,
of course,
to be there. So it's not by just walking out from the Oversight Committee and it's okay. It goes further than that, right?
Of course it goes further than that. And Checky, my thing is simple, man. If you are a man who want to be the leader of this country, the Prime Minister, and he be so petty, be so small to walk away from that, then he go up on national TV and criticize about things of nature. I mean, how ridicule is he in terms of doing that? To me, I look at him and I just basically say, he is not an option to lead this country. Definitely not. I wouldn't want to see him as the Prime Minister, because, especially with that bunch of what I would have termed the architects of corruption, tag and eat with supper, checky, without a doubt. I don't think he has the leadership. I don't think he has the brains in terms of the smarts to lead this country forward, especially now that we are facing some critical times because of COVID, you know. And I look at all of these things and I tell myself, the Belizean people can't be people who know the thing. They must think I am sure that we have Belizeans who are seeing the very same things that I see. You know, because it's no rocket science and this and that. This is basic stuff. You have to look at the leaders who have this country at heart. When Jenny Briceño abandoned in terms of the ICJ issue, gone from yes, maybe, and then they gone to no. He not do that because of the love of country and people. He do that thing because of personal political gain. And that is all that he's interested in. And even now with the National Oversight Committee, when he abandons the people at this critical time, he not do it because of love of country and people. He does it because of his own personal and political gain. And when you put personal and political gain ahead of what is in the best interest of this country and people, that is where we go wrong as a nation, Checky. That is where when our leaders take us on the wrong path. And I say that because that has proven itself time and time again, not only here in Belize, but all over the history of the world when you look at governments and institutions, you know. My thing is simple. At this point in time, we are going through a critical period. I think the people are looking to leaders for leadership, for the direction, for them to set the pace. And you are leaders will walk out on the people. It is nothing good. And for when you tell me about PUP put out that, what do we expect from them? Yeah. What else can be expected from the PUP at this time?
Well,
nothing
is
less,
coming,
I think. Exactly.
But so, Minister, we know that since the leader opposition walked out from resigned, no? You all have met in cabinet. Is there any way now that it's keeping back the process when it comes to this COVID-19, to all the decisions that has to be made in the oversight committee?
None at all, Checky, none at all. I think the leader of the opposition is one man, and I always say this world and the things that we have to deal with is bigger than any one person. And I must thank all those people who are there on the National Oversight Committee, whoever you may be, from wherever you come from, whichever ministry. I know that the Belizean people have the confidence in the National Oversight Committee. I think thus far there is nobody who could stand up and say the National Oversight Committee has not been doing the work that they needed to do, you know, facing the challenges that come. I will tell you, when you look at what has transpired thus far, I think that the country has fared well in terms of managing this COVID-19 virus, Checky. I mean, you could compare, and you know, we're not just to say this to say. We are saying this based on hard facts. When you look at the amount of cases, looked at how we have done the detection, the quarantine, to minimize the spread of this thing. I mean, we have done exceptionally well as a country. You compare us to the Caribbean, to the region, to the world. You looked at the decisions at the appropriate time that they were taken and implemented, has paid off for this country. So I have to say kudos to the National Oversight Committee, whoever you may are, to the people in the Ministry of National Security, to the people in terms of the Department of Health Services, Dr. Manzanero and his team, and all of those frontline people that are out there. I think they have done a wonderful job, and they have gotten good guidance, good decision making. It's not been perfect, Checky, because nothing will be perfect. The only thing sad about this is that the leader or of the opposition, I said chicken out, basically walked out on the people of this country, and that should not be forgotten. That should not be taken lightly. You know why? Because he will abandon the people at this time, but yet he wants the people to give him the confidence at the polls in the next coming months. Something is terribly wrong there, man. How you do that to people, and how you expect people for in turn say, yeah, I support you. I don't see how the right-thinking Belizeans would do something like that, because to me, the mettle of a man is proven in the time of crisis. And not when you walk out. Anybody could walk out for anything, you know, especially when you have to face adversity. It is those who stick to it and move forward, you know, and set the pace. And I do think that at this point in time, Hingan, no problem, he want to go, make it go. But I don't think he takes away anything from the National Oversight Committee. He can contribute, but he has given up that opportunity for political reasons and personal gain. Then that's fine. I still have that confidence in the Prime Minister, and likewise in the National Oversight Committee.
Last week we couldn't read a lot of texts, so since the texts that are coming in, we could start to read them. It's a morning, Checky, morning minister. He's saying in Johnny abandoning the Oversight Committee shows that he and the PUP don't care about the people but their self-interest.
Yeah, well, that is the message he gives to this nation, Checky, and he gives it time and time again. We as a nation, sometimes we don't move forward because we have leaders who only think for themselves, think for their own personal and political gain, man. In a time of crisis like this, we as leaders must put away that political cloak that we have and deal with the issues, because that is in the best interest of the people and country. That is what is needed. And there's a time for everything. Politics will come around, you know, we got election in the next 5 months or so. November is right here around the bend.
Yeah, true.
When we get closer to that, there will be a time for the politicking and all of the thing, or whatever you call it, you understand me? But at this point in time, I think it is important that we steer the course and we make the right decisions in dealing with this COVID-19, because the election will come and election will go. We will still have to deal with what is transpiring right now in terms of the COVID-19.
We're coming to the United Democratic Party now. We have this leadership convention coming up, slated for the 12th of July. We had 5 persons, 1 person came out. Is that affecting the process in any way? We know Honorable Omar Figueroa won a by-election very strongly. He won the big election, and he's a great representative in the Cayo North. I understand that he's concentrating hard in the Cayo North area and putting more interest to work along with his people. But does that affect the process of the convention?
No, none at all. I think that we have set that date, and we're going to have that election. I think our UDP supporters, or those who are delegates, etc., will have their say. And I think from there, the party will reunite and we move forward again. I mean, these are some of the things that have to happen. It's happening. It has happened before, and it's going to happen again, because we need to now set the new leader to be of the party and move on from there. And so I see no issues with that. I think we run in a democratic party. Yep. And that is why you see people can put their names up to run, etc. We move forward. So at this point in time, I think that that is going well. And July 12th, we will find and see who will be the new leader in waiting for the UDP.
This next text here said, let's go to this call, then we'll go back to this text. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question for Mr. Aragon.
Go ahead.
We're talking about the Oversight Committee doing a good job. These people have been texting you, telling you the COVID-19 relief has been approved, and June is over, almost done, and people still haven't received nothing from the Oversight Committee when it comes to the COVID-19 relief. So I want to know what is going on. They keep telling people your money has been approved. When you go to the bank, you spend your money, come from village, go to the bank, there's nothing there. What are these people doing? They left numbers to call. When you call, you can't get through none of the numbers there. What is going on?
Okay.
Well,
I'll listen to the answer on the line.
Sure,
Okay,
Mama.
Minister.
Thanks
Go
for
ahead.
that, Carl. Well, when it comes to that, you know that there's a lot of people who get their money. We could talk about the amount of thousands of people who get their relief every 2 weeks.
And are still getting.
There are issues with some people who don't get. I can tell you personally, I've had several people from my constituency who have contacted me and said, Mr. Aragon, this is the message I get from the COVID-19 webpage where said that it's still in process, or this and that. Now, there's no influence that I can do as a representative because the National Oversight Committee and the Prime Minister made it clear that no representative will have a direct hand in terms of saying who will get the relief.
No
help
interference
and none
in what is
whatsoever.
happening there.
None whatsoever. But I always guide people to look at that, and I've always tried to check with my colleague to find and inquire in cases where people exactly like this Carla say, oh, they don't promise, they mention that I will get, but nothing has come up. Only to find out down the road when I do get a reply is that they had issues with their bank account in terms of the bank account. They put, some people put their sister or brother bank account as opposed to theirs,
So
one
people
number
don't
issues
update
with the
their
credit
bank
bank. Yeah, they're not updated, and sometimes they never give all the relevant information for them to follow up. So they have not made a decision on those. My best bet is for them to carry on with checking up on it via the phone numbers that they have. And I like I said, some people tell me they don't answer some of these numbers and that. I don't know the full intricate process in terms of how this thing works. You have the National Oversight Committee. I am sure there are other committees from this National Oversight that look at it. I am quite sure you have people who work in the account sections dealing with this in terms of the distribution of these funds, etc. Because dealing with a lot of people and putting them on a kind of payroll every 2 weeks payment and all of that goes through a ton of scrutiny in terms of processing. You get your application, they analyze the application, put it here or put it that you need further information. I don't really know, but at the end of the day, my only advice could be is for them to check with the website, maybe send one email or try call people and find out what the situation is. Like I said, I've had several people in my constituencies, and when I have checked, because I've asked Minister Carla to please look into it, because I don't really know the situation. We have gotten some response that guides the people what to do. Some of them never followed the form properly. Some of them had issues with the bank and things like that. But those are the challenges, and like I said, nothing will come without challenges. But I do think overall they have done a good job. And yes, there are areas that has to be done. And I think Carla Barnett on TV, on the news, had given a report on how many people had already gotten it. And there were, I think, a process of about another 3,000 people who were in limbo. They never have all the information. There was some issue with their application. And they were going to look at that. And processing of, I think, at least 3,000 people more or something. So that is where it is right there, Yeah. But I would ask Carla to continue to check on those things now.
Pertaining to the convention, good morning, Minister from Orange Walk East. I am not a delegate. I want to go to the convention. Will you be providing transportation?
Well, at this point in time, July 12th, I know that the party usually has their national party council meeting. And at that meeting, they would decide in terms of what will transpire. With the COVID-19 situation, I am not sure if they will ask. If they ask, of course, we will take buses, without a doubt, But I don't know what is the full situation yet. We'll have to wait to hear from the chairman of the party for him to set the details in terms of how this convention will be held. in terms of if we are allowed to take people. Because, if we go there, much people going out there countrywide, they're not joke,
Yeah,
in lieu of what is transpiring right now with COVID-19, I'm not sure in terms of social distancing and all of that. I'm not too sure, but we will wait and see, and definitely once I know, we will let you all know.
So if you get clearance, you will definitely take buses?
Of course, definitely. If we could carry with people, we'll carry with people.
Yeah, Minister, well, on that note, we'll be taking a break, and when we come back, we want to touch on the ending of this month, when the state of emergency comes to an end.
Okay.
We want to touch a little bit on that, but right now we'll be taking a break, folks. We're live on the East Radio. The folks that are listening to us on the East Radio, the number to call is 302-2170, because the persons watching it on TV, they can see the number. But you are just listening on radio, it's 302-2170, and you can send your text messages at 600-5769. You can send it by regular text or via WhatsApp as well. So Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher will be back right here after these messages on North Television Channel 10.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Someone come, yes, someone coming, let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day, why you the letter?
Who's a me the letter?
That sign right there, you can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
Oh man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
So all of that? Well, know that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
John Briseno says government needs to trim the fat. Let's take a minute to look at that fact.
Johnny Briseno receives a salary of $60,000 from the government to be the leader of the opposition and $84,000 for sports and community projects in his constituency. The People's United Party representatives receive about $993,000 annually from government to assist residents of their constituencies.
Since the COVID-19 state of emergency, the Prime Minister of Belize has given all his salary toward the relief efforts. The UDP ministers has given up a month's salary and allowances going forward. Johnny Briseno has not agreed to give up anything. The PUP representatives have not agreed to give up anything.
Leadership is about action, not words.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies. Transforming Belize, one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's now 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Time to fly, Minister. Time to go so fast.
Tell you.
Yeah, now the state of emergency should come to an end on the 30th of this month, 30th of June. Anything has been discussed in Cabinet with information coming from the Oversight Committee, if other measures will be put in place or everything will just open and free flow?
Well, at this point in time, I think there's nothing major. We've had one or two instances where we have found people coming across, I think the Department of Health Services, along with the Ministry of National Security, are looking into these cases. So we really don't have nothing major where I could say, you say all of a sudden you find so much positive cases, or we find on cluster these things. Based on that, I think that as we progress to the end of June, I think we will see the lifting of the state of emergency. I don't see, unless something happens between now and then, I don't see we continuing with the state of emergency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, certain measures in terms of your wearing of your mask and all of these. And I know that certain, I think what the National Oversight Committee or certain recommendations have been made is in terms of how we use the mask, like in terms of you use your mask when you're in the vehicle and all of that. Sometimes people don't have one clear direction or instructions as to when to use the mask. If you still run the morning and work out, you put your mask. All of these sometimes is not made clear, and I think some of these recommendations will be made in regards to that. But to a large extent, I think that moving on from the 30th of June, if the state of emergency is lifted, if everything carries on well, and that is lifted, I think that what we will have to continue to be doing is in terms of the social distancing. I think that will carry on. You have to look at the wearing of the mask that will carry on. We have to look at how do we move forward. Schools are being looked to open in August, mid-August, thereabouts. Things have to be set up. I think administrators, managers of schools will have to look at how they institute the social distancing and what they have to do to manage that and to move around that. And so I think there's a lot of little things that people will experience, but it all goes in terms of dealing and the prevention of the COVID-19, So there are challenges, and of course those are the new norm of the day, the wearing a mask. You can't walk out of your house without a mask now, the social distancing rules that will apply. And yes, the state of emergency will or should be lifted. I don't say one reason why it will stay. But as we move forward, there's the normal course of the day, how we live now, that will now be dictated to a large extent in terms of the social distancing rules and the wearing of masks and anything else that is directed from the Ministry, Department of Health Services. Apart from that, of course, we have the other issues, which are the most critical aspects of governance in terms of when do we open the PGIA, which is the Philip Goldson International Airport. How do we move forward in terms of the economy and all of these things? So, to me, those are the critical decisions that has to be looked at. And I do think that as we progress from here, those are the challenges that this nation will face. Definitely, I know that the PGIA cannot just open like that. It is dependent on a number of things. When will the airlines
start coming
in again? We also have the issue of repatriation of our people coming back to Belizeans. So all of that is being looked into. So there's a lot of things out there, but definitely I think the greatest challenges for us is looking at how we kickstart the economy again in terms of tourism and all of these things.
Hello, good morning. Sugar City Morning Show.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Yo solo quería hacer una pregunta.
Ajá, adelante.
Mi esposa hace como 3 semanas me hicieron la prueba de racista, pero acá en Concepción la China va a checarle y la China le dice que no hay dinero, que no ha llegado dinero. Y la verdad la China trata un poco mal a la gente. Y yo solo quería saber qué puedo hacer al respecto.
Yo creo que ¿qué puedes hacer? Puedes ir a la oficina de Human Development en Corozal, ¿no, ministro?
That's right. And make a report on it.
Yeah.
And double check so they could look into that now.
Yeah, but Minister, not because persons might feel like, okay, the state of emergency has been lifted, that doesn't mean that the virus is gone, and that doesn't mean that we can just start going around normal. And apart from that, what would you like to say to the border jumpers? People still go across and bring things. People post up things when they got for sale, and we know that things are not available here in Belize that they can buy them from wholesale. We can see things from Sam's that people are selling around.
Yeah. If you look at the news this week, I think you saw where they found somebody who came across the border and was found in Belize City.
Right.
These things have a risk that comes with these people.
And that person that they found in Belize City was tested positive as well, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure.
It was on the news that person was tested positive.
They took him in and made tests and that, but I never know what happened.
This one I'm talking about is a lady that came in from La Union. Okay. And she was found yesterday morning in Belize City, and when they test her, she was positive. And these are the places where some people jump across.
And you must understand right now, Checky, when you look at Chetumal right now is worse off than Cancun.
Yeah, they got more cases than Cancun.
And so when we have people coming across and they sneak through the borders, I would say, right, and come in illegally, they put everybody in this nation at risk, because you only need somebody for come where positive, and basically they spread this thing out. And I mean that, and you know how this thing spread fast, right? One person bring it to the house, and the house come out, go buy it, and spread it to a lot of people. It is amazing to see that the Department of Health Services are able to find people, quarantine these people, put in the measure and the detection and all of these things, the tracing. I think they have done a hell of a job, But again, I think our plea today has to be that, don't put your nation, don't put your people at risk in terms of doing these things, We don't know where they happen at Chetumal, where they happen in Guatemala and all these places, I think that in idea, everybody must have a conscience and look at that in that manner. And some people, I might want to think that through ignorance, and that not in a bad sense, but just that maybe they don't know.
They don't understand.
Or they're understanding, they think different. But at the end of the day, it puts people at risk, And these cases, I don't think will stop, We are saying 1 or 2, they always happen. I know the security forces are doing their best to man these borders, but I'll tell you, when people want to come across, they find one way or the other, Chicky. And those are the risks that this station faces in terms of dealing with this pandemic,
Yeah. So, first of July, that doesn't, if the state of emergency is lifted after 30th June, 1st of July, that doesn't mean that the virus is still not here.
No. And if you look at the international news, you will look at the challenges that nations are facing countrywide. China is back again with issues, in terms of COVID. You look at the United States, where you have increases going up in certain states in terms of the virus, in Miami, in different places, So I guess nations are facing the similar challenges like us, but they have to deal with it because they have a lot of people infected, people still dying every day,
Yes, that's true.
And, and so we have to look at how the COVID has impacted us, how we are living with it and coping with it. And I think to a large extent, like I told you, I think we have done a wonderful job. Nothing perfect. Nothing will be perfect either, but I think that moving forward, we must continue to look at how we manage this thing properly. And that is the important thing, managing and dealing with the situation as they arise, you know.
July 1st, July and August is transfer from voters from one constituency to the next. We have persons that have moved into Orange Walk East, and this is the time that they will be able to transfer. What's the procedures?
Well, the procedures, you know, you have the people at the election and boundaries. It's just for people to go in to election and boundaries and apply. You know, basically, if you have not registered, because, you know, believe it or not, we still have people who have not gotten time or taken the time to go and register. So people need to register, especially those who are just completing 18 years of age or have completed 18 need to go in and register. People who have never re-registered themselves in the first place, you know, need to go in and register. And likewise, of course, you have people who are now living in your area who need to transfer. That transfer period is only for 2 months, check it, July and August. So we ask everybody who live in the East and needs to transfer to please do so during the months of July and August. After August, that's it, you can't transfer. Wherever you have been registered, that is where you will lie in terms of your vote for the general election, no?
The July and August is only for transfers?
Only for transfers.
Or new registration, like if you become 18 in July, can you still go and register?
Yes, the transfer period, that's why I mentioned it, transfer period is only for July and August. So if you could transfer in terms that you're, let's say you're Uganda East, you live there for a while now, and you're registered in Central or North or wherever, you have the opportunity right now, July and August, to go in and transfer. Right, so then you are recognized as a voter for that division. If you do not transfer after August, then wherever you were last registered, that is where you're going to vote.
You can't vote in the East.
You can't vote in the East if you never transfer. In terms of people who are 18 or becoming 18, new registrations and re-registrations that people have to do because they're not going to re-register again, that is a continuous process. So they will be able to do that right up to, I think, just maybe a month before elections.
So new registration and re-registration is every day that the office is. Minister, do you encourage persons to, if they are living in a different if they are living in an area but they are registered in some other parts of the country or other area from where they reside, do you encourage them to register and vote in the area that they live?
Well, you know, it all depends. It all depends. You know, you have some people who, it all depends. I would want to think that it is a convenience for them depending on where they are living presently, you know. You might have somebody in the East where they live and work at San Pedro, and if he feels that it is more better for him there, then he can register there, but if transfer there. But a lot of people want to keep their vote for the division. They want to vote for a specific person.
Right.
And so in that light, definitely I would have said, like, people in my east side have said, stay with me. You know, no go.
No go.
Right, no go. But, you know, it's about convenience. I think it's all up to people have to make that decision by themselves, you know, decide what they want to do. But at the end of the day, the process is there for transfers because, you know, people do move around in this country for jobs and other things that take them here and there. So the whole transfer process is to accommodate these people who have moved, you know. And definitely I would tell everybody, you know, all the people of Orange Walk East, I ask you all, because I know we've had a lot of people who gone to San Pedro because of work, people who live elsewhere, but their home is in Orange Walk, you know. I always tell people not transfer unless you have to, because, you know, in certain areas you have to for several reasons, but I do think that the transfer period is there for a reason, and people have that 2 months to make that decision. In terms
What's the legal documentation that someone needs to register?
Well, all you need to register right now is to have your board paper or your passport will work, and your social security card.
Okay. Can they go to your office for assistance?
Yes, definitely. definitely they can drop by. Anybody have any issues in terms of, or any questions or concern in terms of registration, transfers, etc., feel free to drop by at our office on Liberty Avenue, and we will assist and guide you there.
Minister will be talking about some developments happening in the east, but we'll be taking a break, and when we come back we will touch on some of that, because I believe you have some information on that this morning.
Sure, man.
Someone wants to know if we know where is the Human Development Department in Corozal. We will check on that, and when we come back we will share that with you. So folks, Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
114.60 acres in Tiger Creek, Orange Walk, 3,000 acres, 0.961 hectares to Jaime Briceño and John Briceño, 827.848 square yards to John Briceño, 5.4 acres to John Briceño and Jaime Briceño, 20 acres in Progreso to John Briceño, again, 6 acres in Progreso. The all of Progreso you go with?
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher. Minister, we have one question now concerning the re-registration when we talk about. He said, but how if somebody lived at Trial Farm for 2 years and are registered on the east? What can be done about that?
Well, they could stay registered with me.
They don't have to transfer.
They don't have to transfer. If they have registered already in the east, if they transfer their vote, then they will no longer be able to vote for me in the Orange Walk East Division. They'll be then able to vote in the north.
Okay.
You know.
But they don't have to transfer.
You don't have to transfer. There's no law that says that you have to transfer. The transfer period is there for accommodation, for convenience to the voter. Because you have some people who have moved and would, like let's say you move to PG.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna live there because you're gonna teaching job or whatever. So you say, you know what, I live here, this on chance, now I could transfer my vote because then I don't think I want to come wait or enjoy for election, come vote. You must bear in mind that wherever you are registered is where you're going to vote. So if you're gonna PG, gonna live because of work, and you're registered in Orange Walk, if election is called, you will have to come to Orange Walk to cast your vote.
In the constituency you're registered?
Yes, where you're registered. But so the transfer period is to accommodate people who would want to say, well, you know what, I did a PG, no, I don't think I could make it way up there, and I don't got the time. So you transfer so that when election come, you could vote right in a PG.
But for do that, you have to do that between July and August.
July and August to transfer your vote. If the caller is from Trial Farm and they are registered in the east, nobody could tell you come and transfer to Trial Farm. You make that decision. If you want to stay in the east and election day come and vote for me, then you need not transfer.
But what if you go there election day and you are registered here and somebody say, no man, but you live at Trial Farm. You don't live here.
Nobody can do that to you. Wherever you are registered, when they gearing up to election, the election and boundaries will put all the people who are registered in East, you will be able to vote if you are registered there. No matter if you're there at PG, San Pedro, wherever you are registered, that is where you will vote. So nobody have to tell you, oh, but you live in here, so you have to transfer. There is no have to in the transfer. You vote for where you want. And like I said, the transfer period is only there for convenience and accommodation. No?
Okay. All right. So how are the projects coming on? How are the projects coming on in the east? We know we got a lot of rain and so on.
Yeah. Well, the rains continue to hamper, and I think especially in low-lying areas, you got the Lower Louisiana area, Chipsali, and those, I know people had some concerns with the rise of water. And of course, in the Pasadita area, we had a lot of the drains were clogged up. Well, they don't have much drains there either, but the few that were there were clogged up. I think Town Board went out there to clean some of them. But nevertheless, you have certain areas, because that area is fairly, how would I put it, they don't really have a proper drainage system. And so you will have water on the road and things like that. But to a large extent, a lot of that has subsided. And right now I have Public Works out there trying to get some work done in that area. We are not really digging up all the roads and things, because, if I know one thing in terms of the rain, it is the dust that comes with dry weather. So what we are having right now, I have Public Works equipment.
Where is that?
That is Adinet.
Adinet Alley?
Alley, yeah. The street, basically the street there. They call it Alley.
Yeah, but that was
street. But so what we are trying to do right now is just, right now we don't have access to the grader. As soon as we could get that, I will have the roads widen up, I got grass growing over the roads. But what we are doing right now is the patchwork, because we don't want to create a dust problem for the community. We've always had that issue when we kind of dig up the roads and scrape it, and that it creates a dust. So we're just patching all the bad roads and things, the big holes that exist in these roads. So we make the roads better, but at the same time not create that kind of dust that affects the community, because we've had instances of that. So those are the works. At this point in time, I'm waiting to hopefully Public Works could get their equipment to come up. And so once we get those equipments, that will help us to deal with the road issues in the Louisiana and in the Pasadena area, Definitely we have some areas that needs to be widened in terms, grass grow up on these things. And definitely we want to see a better road. But, we are dependent on Public Works because Public Works are the ones who manage these things. And it's about being able to get Public Works to get out there and do the work, So we are working on those, but there's a lot of work that has to be done yet.
Yes. So
servicing our roads, especially after the rains,
Yeah, the areas don't have drainage system, Drew.
They don't really have drainage system. I've visited that area many times to see how, if water is going up, what is the situation in the area. One of the areas, that area, especially Pasadena area, don't have one drainage system. Just like I would want to say nearly the Lower Louisiana still don't have one proper drainage system. And that is, I would want to say, that nobody fault per se, because these things cost a lot of money, Check. If you don't want one proper drainage system, you have to really map out that place. You have to really have some engineers come in to look at how water will flow, where it will flow, and the work that has to go in terms of creating these drains. So, now, very expensive venture, not an easy thing to put in place. And of course, when you look at the Lower Louisiana area, the problem is not the drains are an issue because we need the water to go. But the thing is, if the river raises, the water comes up, So those are the challenges, and definitely maintaining the roads is always a challenge. Likewise, because you have the weather, the usage, and all of these things. So, but nevertheless, we have Public Works right now, and I'm asking them to see what they can do. And right now, even with Public Works, it's hard because the equipment comes 1-2 days and it has to go. And they have work that needs to be done. I know the 77 road is in terrible condition right now. There are some serious holes there. And so Public Works would all of a sudden just go and work on these things. And it is necessary, I wish we would have one better set of equipment in terms of Public Works so that we could get a lot more work done. It is what it is, and nevertheless, we continue to put them to work as best as possible now.
So when it comes to future layouts, you see, because minister like you, give somebody one land, and then the area is not developed as yet. But people when they get a land, well, of course they want to build up, right?
Yeah.
And then the systems are not set in like the infrastructure,
right.
No?
And that is typical across this country, I would want to think. I mean, there are certain areas where you open up, you give away land, people go in there, you at least create the road and people go. They're not worried if they got light and water, then go, and then light and water reach.
Yeah, they dig their well.
Then do whatever. And with development, with time, the water come, the light come. The drains are sometimes the last thing to come, But that is how it is, and I think that that will always be a challenge because it comes with a financial cost. The drains,
Yeah.
to dig and plan and get the engineers to look at these things, it comes with a cost. But these are the things I think we have to look on, and it's always a challenge, But I'm glad to know that we never had no serious flooding in the east. We had 1 or 2 people who were affected. I had called for NEMO to go out and inspect and look at what can be done to assist them now.
How are we coming out of Sandy Field?
Well, the Sandy Field is going on. I visited there this weekend. Over the weekend, I took a spin out there, and I think we have some pictures at the Sandy Field. Right now, the contractor was putting up the shed at the top.
Okay.
So I think we have some pictures of those. So it's looking pretty good,
It look nice, man.
It looks nice, man. This was one of the sheds. I think the other one is up already too. So they were out there working, and I felt very good on seeing it. It needs some paint and all of that as yet, but it is a well-built bleacher, and definitely the way the contractor has used spur lines in terms of the seating and all of that. That is something that I want to really adapt in terms of looking at Louisiana, because we've always been servicing that lumber. And the lumber doesn't last long, lasting 1 or 2 years, and then they get rotten, and a lot of things, water and that, But I really like this design, and we have to then upgrade that one. But we have to find the money for that to be done. But, Sandys Field is coming right on in terms of the plan. At this point in time now, as soon as we finish these 2 bleachers, we have the 2 dugouts that will be built, which will be done. And likewise, I was out there, like I said, about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago with the people from BL, and we are looking at where the lights will go. BL needs to put the posts for us. 6 posts will be placed at the field, and I already have acquired the lights for the place. So as soon as those posts go up, we will let BL put on the lights.
Yeah, this type of structure here, Minister, it's not only for the people that play sports, it brings families together.
Yes, man.
Because who knows want to sit down on nice bleachers,
and watch your kid play.
They don't really have to wait until they got a game. If they want to go sit down and see them guys work out, they just want to go there on Sunday afternoon, go chill out with the family.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Oh man, it's nice. It's well built too, and I feel good about it. It's a work that has taken us some time. We have to raise some funds and all of these things, but it is something that I think will do well for all our young people in that not only the division, but in that immediate area.
Yeah.
And we are hoping that field will become the home of the 7-a-side and and all of these small competitions. So we have a lot of work that is yet to be done yet, like I said. But with the COVID and all, the weather has held us back, because we have to align that field in terms of move the goalposts, set it up neatly. The dugouts will be done now, and then after that we have to proceed with the basketball court. And the other little works, the lights that will come on, the electricity from BL that has to be connected. So we have all these entities that will continue to come, so that we can have that project finally completed. But wonderful again out there. And kids were playing the football out there, and leave 5-a-side, they play. And that is good, You're always going to go there and see the young people playing. So I know that these bleachers will go a long way for that place.
Yeah, it's nice. How about the basketball area?
Well, we have to work on that, but with the weathers, we never get to it. But definitely we have to organize and move into that.
That area
that is all a part of the big plan that we have,
Yeah, that area is a very populated residential area,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is. And I think that that football field will lend itself to a lot of young people participating. So we are working on that. I'm hoping that we don't have much rain from here on, and so we could really get that organized and get down there, because BL needs to put the light. They were out there. We are lining up the field in terms of ensuring where the lights will go. Once we get that up, when I have lights, because we don't acquire the lights, like I tell you. So to me, everything is coming now on stream, and definitely the dugouts will start this week if they're not start already, and so we're having good progress with that, and I feel very proud of that. And you will see at the end how that whole place comes together, Checky.
Yeah, we want to ask persons in the area, if we make gonna take care of the things, man. The things take one lot. If you get done, they take long. How long you are needed that for uno. So uno take care of it.
Yeah, but it's good, man. I feel very good about that. Apart from that, Checky, we also have, I think, I would like to highlight again Mr. Roque from Tower Hill.
Tower Hill man.
And the people, they have been doing a wonderful job. I think last time we showed they made a fix up in terms of cement work at the bus stop there. And they have
has completed?
That has completed right now. And so I think they put the touches lately in terms of the paint job and all of that, no? And I must commend Mr. Roque, he's been out there working hard. And apart from Roque, Roque always had a team of people that were out there assisting him. And I just want to highlight that Mr. Roque said, please, Aragon, mention that the committee, they work hard out there and things like that, no? And definitely I'd like to do that, because at the end of the day, it is these people who get out there and get the job done,
Yeah, the thing looks nice, man. It looks nice. You have to commend the people, because that's the way a chairman or person should be, working and get your community to work along with you.
And every week, check it. Last week he did an organized garbage collection. He went all around the village and Elena and pick up the mangan, pick up the garbage with his people and then dump it for people. So that was a good thing, and we have to big up Tyrone Morales likewise. He worked with Roque out there, did a lot of the work and assisted. And of course, so everybody else, Chino and everybody will come out and work, whether you help with the garbage, whether you help with the bus stop and that, we have to commend these people, because they don't do it, they don't get paid for it on that day, but they do it because they want to see their village a little better off, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just big up to Roque and his team for that continuous work that they have been doing in the village, you know.
Minister, some persons might wonder, you're working in that area when it comes to infrastructure, sports, and education as well. Is that showing a decrease in the crime activities in the East?
Well, you know, how would I put it to you? I always believe that having these facilities go a long way in preventing crime and in curbing crime, because when you positively engage a young person, you are helping that child to stay on the right track. You know, and I think through sports, through education, through positive interactions with the community, I think these are the things that lend itself to having a productive young person grow up in our community, you know. And I always think that it takes, it's not a person will grow, will raise a child, but rather it's the village or the community. And I really believe in that, because, you know, in every aspect of a child's life, the interaction he has with positive people makes that child a positive person in life. And I think that all of these things that we do in terms of infrastructure lends itself to that. And I've always believed in the greater good of our community, you know. Everything we do, we must do for the greater good of our community, right? Because that impacts everybody, not one person, but rather everybody. And I think those are the important things we have to look at when we try to look at these infrastructure, the works that is put out there.
Yeah. Mr. Who does not want to see the UDP is doing when it comes to infrastructure are blind. You can see where the money is going, and that is good for the country. And let's see this next one here. He say, Roque picks up garbage where he wants. Always keep our house, even if the garbage is on the roadside. Doesn't carry it. So I don't think that's a chairman to brag about. Well,
yeah. Well, like I said, you know, but Shaki, apart from the work that is being done, I mean, yes, we have COVID. COVID has affected us tremendously because there were other little projects that we had that we wanted to tie down. And at this point in time, I'm not sure if those monies are still available. We are working on trying to get these monies and see where we resource them, if at all possible. But I will tell you, some of the projects are carrying on. The one in Louisiana, with the Louisiana government school, is being built. That work continues. Anybody could pass out there and see the development that is taking place there. I feel proud of that, because that will lend itself tremendously to all our students, to all the families in Orange Walk East, especially those on the town side, will benefit tremendously from that. Apart from that, Cheki, the good news is that the high school for Carmelita will commence very shortly. I think Works wants to, the Ministry of Education wants to get the work started from September. Preliminary work is being done right now, is being planned to be done, and I was out there with the engineer along with the representative from the Ministry of Education. I was there last week, Friday. We were on the ground. We went to where the land has been designated for the high school, and works will commence there, because one, we want to fill it up one time in terms of take it up a certain height, and so those are the works that are being planned right now for that area. I feel good about that, because, you know, knowing and seeing that this high school we built in Carmelita will go a long way for that community, you know, and I'm glad to know that project is 100% on. And so I feel good about that. And, you know, I just can't wait for see that done. We were out there with
the site?
Yes. Well, the site is right across, but we were out there with the engineer and the people from the Ministry of Education. They had came down. We took them to the site so they could see it. They already visited, but they came there because what is happening, work needs to start. We need to prepare the place so that the work can start. And one of the first steps that we want to do is to fill at least 1.5 feet or 2 foot up in terms of white marl. So we were there discussing the thing and making the arrangements in terms of for that to happen, you know, because we have to put some kind of logistical work there for that to take place. So that is what we were discussing there. And I feel very good because, you know, I mean, the Ministry of Education said they would want to have one groundbreaking there as soon as those white marls are placed.
What?
And then from there, the work by September supposed to kick off.
Yeah.
And I know that will bring a lot of jobs for people. That infrastructure will be anywhere between $3 to $5 million worth of infrastructure. So It's a magnificent school, and apart from that, Chicky, not only in Louisiana, in Carmelita, we're getting a spanking new high school, but Technical will be the recipient likewise. And after they left me, they went to Technical. Like I told you last time, in Technical, they're going to get same infrastructure and will really expand a technical high school. So that is going to happen likewise. And I think there's another school in Trial Farm that will be built, and I think a preschool somewhere else in the north. So tremendously, these infrastructures, I think, will go a long way for the people of Orange Walk, on a whole. We'll get this nice boost in terms of new buildings, new high schools, new preschools, and that lends itself again to education. And I can tell you, Checky, to me, those are the foundation to having a better society, a better community, where we can ensure that our children have access to good education. And I think that will go a long way. I feel very proud of it because we really fought for this high school. Really fight for this high school. We nearly lost it because it was set to go to Palmar, but the difficulties we had there with land, I am glad that it ended up going to Carmelita.
Okay.
And definitely, I think that that will play a tremendous role, not only now, not only for the jobs that it will create in the area, the economic activity that it will bring about, but it will set itself for many years to come in terms of how Carmelita expands. I've always told people I have a vision that Carmelita will be what Ladyville is to Belize City.
Yeah.
A huge community. And I say this because of the things that are happening out there right now. You have the big factory that is being built out there. Millions of dollars investment is there. And that will create, again, on its own, you talk about nearly 150, 200 jobs right there. So you could really say that Carmelita will take off, will boom. And the expansion works that we have done in terms of lots for the community residents there and all of these things. I think all of this is lending itself to seeing Carmelita really blooming into a nice community like Ladyville in terms of the economic activity and things like that. And makes me very, very glad to see it all taking shape, Checky.
Talking about Carmelita, they say, when will the minister do a house-to-house visit in Carmelita by himself? Then our next one, say, but we'll touch on these when we come back. Ask the minister to please shed light on the Aragon's Christmas Cup. Okay. But we'll be taking a break, Minister, and then we'll be back. So, folks, keep it locked into North Vision Channel 10. It's 21 minutes away from 9. Minister Aragon and Robert Checker Usher will be back after these messages right here on North Vision Channel 10.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
114.60 acres in Tiger Creek, Orange Walk, 3,000 acres, 0.961 hectares to Jaime Briceño and John Briceño, 827.848 square yards to John Briceño, 5.4 acres to John Briceño and Jaime Briceño, 20 acres in Progreso to John Briceño again, 6 acres in Progreso. The all of Progreso you go with?
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. We want to shout out Doris Montejo this morning watching the show. Yeah, good morning. Also, Myrna Usher, morning Sugar City people. So mad, can't see you guys, but always wishing my guys the best. You know that. Enjoy your day. But wait, just click it. And there you are. Minister Aragon, hope you have a nice day. This one is coming
Thank
from
you.
someone all the way from Belize City.
Wow. Thanks,
Yeah,
thanks.
They support the party very strong as well. They're in the
Alright.
Albert area.
Okay, all right.
You know. So, Minister, somebody wants to know when will you be going to Carmelita house to house by yourself, and someone wants you to shed the light on the Aragon's Christmas Cup and
Alright.
if drums are still available.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Well, first of all, the first scholar in terms of Carmelita, definitely we'll be visiting Carmelita. I'll be visiting Carmelita house to house very soon.
Okay.
You know, right now, we have election coming up in about 5 months away, 4 to 5 months, I would say, you know, anytime. Like I always tell people, only the Prime Minister hold that magic,
Yes.
magic touch in terms of saying when elections will be.
But here, make that call.
Yeah, make that call. But nevertheless, I'll be visiting Carmelita because, you know, we have to reach out to people. We have to discuss and meet with people.
Get people's concern.
Do the campaign likewise and stuff. So I will definitely be reaching out in Carmelita without a doubt. Like I said, you know, I pop in now and then I make 1 or 2 visits that I have to do to look at certain people's concerns and things like that. But definitely I'll be there house to house very, very, very soon. Apart from that, in terms of the Aragon's Christmas Cup checking, that, you know, I meet a lot of young people out there. Just over the weekend, I met a group of them and they tell me, Aragon, so where do you know, you have the Aragon's Christmas Cup because we got with team ready, you know, San Esteban sending ready.
Okay.
So I tell them, well, if you guys will put up your team, and I hope you know bring one solid team too, because you know we were watching football over the weekend, so we had a lot of discussions about that. But definitely, we are looking anxiously for the Aragon's Christmas Cup. Yes, we have a slow year in terms of COVID, but I do think that sports is important, and the Aragon's Christmas Cup committee will be working on that again. Definitely, I think we usually start in late September, moving right up to December. So we will carry on with that. I want to see that done. I think all our young people, all the various teams are still anxious to get on the field. And so we'll be coordinating with them shortly. And I think right now we have up till maybe, I think in late August to begin to contact them. So that by September, you know, we already have the roster, the competition is set out, and we could get these games going, you know.
Apart from having the game, which is a very good competition, does that bring any kind of economical growth in the area in the East?
Well, I mean, people go sell out there and things like that, but to a large extent, I think it lends itself to something very positive, you know, where you see that all these young people from across the Orange Walk district come out and compete, you know. And for football fans, you know, I go out and I enjoy the games when I'm out there. And I do think that it lends itself for something positive within our community. It gets our young people active, And of course, it lends itself to the community in the Louisiana area and Orange Walk to be able to go there and watch and partake in that sporting event. And to me, it's about bringing people together. That is important, and that is why we have done it from this might be the 6th year I'm doing this Aragon's Christmas Cup, but it is something wonderful, checking. There's nothing like when you go there and see that crowd, you feel the hype, etc. And these things, and like I said, we make the sacrifice in terms of having, I think, the biggest payout in football that we do. I want to say across this country when it comes to local sports,
I understand this last tournament went down to the wire.
Yeah, yes, it was good games, I'll tell you. And I think sporting fans are used to this every year, and definitely I want the guys and the teams out there to know that we'll be having that, and soon you'll be hearing and be contacted from our sports committee who organize this event every year,
Why have you all decided to bring teams from other parts of the district and not only from the east? I thought when you were planning it, I thought it was only for the east.
Yeah, because why we did it that way, because we make it competitive, Checky. When you have like tournaments just from the east, you only get a limited amount of football. Remember, this is a competition that is run out from late September right up to nearly mid-December. It runs. So, by having more teams come out, I think we get more people participation. But and apart from the participation, we make it more hyped in terms that you have more teams competing for the coveted prize in terms of cash prizes and stuff, trophies and medals, no?
Last year there was a team from San Jose as well, and I think they did well, no?
Yeah. We had, listen, every year it gets bigger and better, Checky, and I think that this year will no doubt be bigger and better. I think last year we had some ruffles and all of these things, that lent itself well. The committee did some fundraising likewise. So I think this year around we are anxious to have that likewise. So
it will happen.
It will happen, and I think it's something good for Orange Walk district on a whole.
Minister, someone is asking, I would like to ask Minister of Aragon if he can send the machinery to fix 2 roads in Tower Hill, which gets filled with water when it rains, because it has some huge holes, and when people go out there, they have to pass through the water and mud. It is the road by the church and the one used as shortcut on Back Street.
To the highway.
On Back Street.
All right.
They want to know if you can send the machines there to take care of that.
That is street back then, Colbert though. Yeah, all right.
So, and some persons ask about the drums, if they still have drums.
Yes, definitely. And if anybody is interested in drums from the Orange Walk East constituency, I mean, all they need to do is call 322 3278.
That's your office there on
Yes, that's the office
Liberty
number.
Avenue.
Liberty
Office
Avenue.
open Monday to
Friday. The office is open, no?
Okay, so they can call the office and request their drums.
Right.
Yeah, and these drums are really working when you have them in certain strategic areas, right?
And I think it helps tremendously. Since we have started with the drum project, right now everybody who asks us for a drum, we go and install the drum for them. And check it out, not just on drum where we drop on the ground, because the thing when you just drop on drum there, you get rotten quickly.
Yeah.
The dogs kick it over, etc.
When the water settles in it.
And all of these things. So what we have done right now is we have put these drums on lumber, and we sink it in at the ground, so it is easier for the town council workers when they get there for pull out garbage. Easy. The dogs not really doing a lot of damage with it, and it stays there. And I think it lends itself to a cleaner community, and that is why we do it. So if somebody in Orange Walk East needs a drum, you can call the office at 322 3278, and as soon as we get those drums going, we can have people that work on it every day. As we get them, then they go. But as we get them, and definitely we look forward to putting a drum out there for you.
Yeah, we have several texts that came in as well, Minister. And I read all of them because most of them is the same. People say they are ready for the convention.
Yeah, ready? That's good. I think, check it, there's a lot of people looking towards this convention because they want to see who will be the next leader in waiting for the United Democratic Party. When it comes to me, I have always been open on where I support. I've always believed that it is important for us not to be straight in terms of when we deal with our colleagues as to who you support. And everybody knows I support Patrick Farber. I say that openly because I have full trust and confidence in Patrick Farber. I think this party needs new, young, dynamic leadership to move this party forward. And I think that he embodies a lot of the great things that the United Democratic Party wants to see in terms of leadership when we move forward, People know that we have a convention coming up the 12th July, so we'll see what happens there. But nevertheless, like I said, when you look and see that we have 4 people now contesting, it shows you that we, as a Democratic Party, we are open for these kinds of conventions. We are united in terms of ensuring that people have a voice to say who they want as their leader. We move on from there.
There was no shuffling when it comes to the delegates. The same delegates will vote.
The same delegates will be voting. There is no change in that. So if you were a delegate for the last convention, you will continue to be that delegate and have a chance to now elect again a new leader for the UDP.
So, and then somebody asked about buses again, but I believe you said when the National Party Council meet.
No, when the chairman highlights in terms of how we will have this, we will let people know. But I know a lot of people would love to go there, I mean, this is our part of the politics in terms of the internal politics of our party, and people want to participate on that. And it's to me, these are nice opportunities to bring our people so we could mingle, and meet up and things like that. So, it's always good. But like I said, we have to wait to hear what the National Party Council will say, what our party secretariat will tell us, in terms of this. And then from there, we'll know how and what to do.
Is the party satisfied with the turnout that the party had for the 9th of February when we had the first national convention?
Yes,
Was the party
I think so.
surprised with the turnout?
Definitely. I think we had a massive crowd out there, UDPs from all over, and I think that, I think we did well. And when I look at everything, I just sad that certain things transpired there, in terms of Jan Saldiva, having stepped down and all of these things. But the whole thing is that now we go through this again and to elect our leader, and from there we move on. And definitely, Cheki, I know politics is what it is. We are 4 to 5 months away from an election in November, by law. And so I think that the politics will kick up with due time, and people will see a lot of movement, etc. But at the end of the day, I think that it is all up to the Belizean people to make the decision. It's every 5 years they get an opportunity to basically elect the leaders, and I've always said that and truly believe that the United Democratic Party is the right party, the right choice for this country at this point in time,
Yeah. At that convention, we saw thousands of residents attending the convention. Does that show overwhelming support for the party?
Yes, I think the party, we're a mass party, I think, in terms of in this country, we only have basically 2 parties that are viable in terms of the PUP and the UDP. But at the end of the day, it is the United Democratic Party that has steered this country well, has brought about the kind of infrastructure, kind of support to education, the kind of works that has really propelled this country forward, I don't say perfect, I don't say that there haven't been issues and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the party stands out, and I think it continues to stand out. You could look at how it has managed the COVID. I mean, nobody would have believed COVID may have come away like this, but I think thus far they have done a wonderful job, in terms of everything. And I do believe that people see these things. Of course, people, the opposition, if you talk to the opposition, they'll tell you differently. But I've always said that at the end of the day, people will decide. People know who the leaders are in the PUP and who are the leaders in the United Democratic Party, and the people will make that decision come election day. I, for one, always tell people, listen, this country needs good leaders. That is the foundation of great things to come. But like I said, Cheki, politics will have its turn, and as soon as we get the political ball rolling, and you will see all the kind of propaganda and everything, but at the end of the day, I've always said the people will decide.
Well, Minister, it has been a pleasure once again. On your closing remark, I just want you to touch a little bit on the lifting of the national state of emergency as well, and other things that you would like to add in on your closing remarks.
Yeah, sure. I said, well, Cheki, I would just like to say that, of course, come end of this month, the state of emergency will be lifted. I don't see that another state of emergency will be imposed unless something drastic takes place from now to then. So I think Belizeans across the country look forward to that. That does not mean that the government or the various departments will, in terms of the Department of Health Services or National Security, and all those who are involved in terms of this COVID, managing of the COVID situation, will let their guard down. None at all. They will continue with the work that they are doing, but it just means that we no longer will have that state of emergency. And that is all in a way to trying to get back things to normal. Of course, the new normalcy of the day, in terms of our mask, in terms of social distancing rules, all of these things will carry on without a doubt. But nevertheless, I think that these are the new steps that will be taken. Of course, there are a lot more decision making that has to be done. A lot of discussion has to be done in regards to how we open up the airports. Well, the borders for sure. I don't see the borders anytime soon opening up based on what is transpiring in these respective neighboring countries. But nevertheless, I think that we have been managing it well. And of course, we have a election looming on us in the next 5 months. So there's a lot to take in, a lot of work to be done. But nevertheless, I am confident that we will continue to do well for the people and this country. And all I want to say is that as all our UDP supporters out there, to keep strong, to keep faith with your United Democratic Party. And I'm confident that as we progress in these coming months, Checky, we will be working on all the challenges that face this country, and we will move towards the light in terms of moving into great things, in terms of getting out of where we are right now, in terms of the economy, in terms of the situation with the PGIA, in terms of trying to get this country back to the normalcy it is used to. I am confident that that will come to pass, but at this point in time, a lot of work is left, So I just want to say that and to again thank all those people at the front line. We tend to forget these people, but these are the people day in and day out, Checky, from the Department of Health Services, Ministry of National Security, everybody who is involved in one way or the other in terms of having to cope with this COVID-19. I want to big you up, and of course, Checky, we cannot forget the cooperation of our Belizean people across this country who will have lent themselves to be understanding, to be cooperative to the rules and the restrictions that have been placed, Without the Belizean people cooperating with government and the National Oversight Committee, etc., we wouldn't be where we are right now, Checky. Mm-hmm. So I have to big up everybody across this nation for likewise doing your part in ensuring that we cope with this situation together, and together we will come out of this,
Well, thank you very much, Minister. I want to certainly wish you the best, and we know you will be here next week. So, sure. Folks, the time is 9 o'clock, and tomorrow we'll be having elections and boundaries. We'll be having Mrs. Paula Dawson here to tell us about re-registrations and other business when it comes to elections and boundaries. We know we have two departments here. We have one here in Ocho Benque, where persons from Orange Walk Central and Orange Walk North goes and visit. They go and register and re-register. And we also have the one on Santa Ana Street that was for Orange Walk East and Orange Walk South. So have yourself a wonderful day. The show repeats tonight at 8 o'clock on the same channel. We have the repeat of the Channel 7 News 12 today and 6 this evening. The live news. Raheem, thanks very much. Thanks, Minister. Thanks, everyone who watched the show today. If the good Lord so will, we will be back right here tomorrow. Have yourself a wonderful time. Everyone who listened on the East Radio and also right here on North Television, Channel 10.
SugarCity Morning Show.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Carazal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million